Frank Luntz, pollster, Fox News contributor, with me now at the board. How you doing?
I love this board.
I think it can tell a lot. But a lot of what we're doing here, by the way, is based on polling and a lot of different political websites to try and give our viewers at home an idea for how things may or may not go. So 5 states today. But you say that today is not necessarily the most vital aspect of this. You're looking way down the road.
So
to where?
And my assumption is that today is just a Trump blowout in the end. And how the delegates are proportioned. Tonight will be a Trump victory. It'll be very tough for Cruz. I don't know how many delegates he's going to get. He could get trumped today completely. But I'm looking at Indiana next week because that is a state that Ted Cruz has the opportunity to do well. It's a state with a significant percentage of Christian conservatives. When you go from Indianapolis on south in that state, it's much more like a southern state than it is an industrial Midwestern state. And then I have to go 4 weeks later. I have to go to June 7th because California is going to determine everything. And right now it's too close to call. Cruz, in the polling that I've seen, it's only 5 or 6 points back.
Okay, that's interesting. Go ahead.
Point, which is the Trump campaign over the last 2 or 3 weeks has really sharpened up. It is one of the most professional operations. It knows how to get delegates. It knows how to keep delegates, which is something that he had been failing earlier on. So he's going to maximize everything.
That could be a real battle head-to-head, okay? We've taken the 5 states today. We've locked them out of our scenario. Here is where Trump starts at 845. He needs about 400 to get there, okay, to get to 1237. If you don't count the 5 today, and I'll explain why we're not doing that in a moment here. So Indiana, as of last Friday, we gave that to Trump. Prior to that, we had given it to Cruz. We'll see whether or not that continues. Nebraska, Cruz. West Virginia, primarily Trump. Okay, now we're here in the Northwest. Trump slight edge in Oregon, Cruz slight edge in Washington State. Now we're in June, the day that you talked about in California. That same day is Montana for Cruz, South Dakota for Cruz. Given this alliance, we think Trump gets a few more delegates in New Mexico as of now. We also believe Trump gets 109 delegates in the state of California the same day as New Jersey, winner-take-all 51. So not counting today, where we think in pledged delegates, Frank, Trump could get 80 or 90 as of this moment. So if you take 80 or 90 from 127, you're around the 30 to 40 delegate mark for him being from 1237. That is a possibility. It is a scenario. Do you want to argue that or not?
I don't want to argue it. I want you to now imagine what happens if he's only 30 delegates short on June 8th, 2016. How do you deny someone the nomination when you are that close? I think that the following week, 10 days, will be the greatest in horse trading that we've ever seen in American politics.
I mean, between June 8th and July 18th, it could be significant. There will be about 170 free agents, basically,
and all
unpledged delegates.
And all Trump is going to need is 30 or 40 of them, and that's where the personal offensive, that's where the one-on-one campaigning becomes so important. It's not just an issue of do they go down to Florida and visit Trump. It's where he gets a chance to sit across the table, and this is where he is at his best. He learned this from The Apprentice. He's learned this from 30 years of negotiating, 40 years.
Make the deal.
Make the deal. How to actually know how to close the deal.
Okay, all right, I'll take that. Now, one more thing here. If we're wrong about Indiana, watch how the number changes, okay? We'll take that away. If we're wrong about the state of Oregon, watch the number change. And now you see that Cruz-Kasich alliance and how it may or may not work. Quick word on that.
Which was the smartest decision they could have made. That is brilliant political strategy, but the execution is horrific. You don't talk about what you're going to do, you do it. The fact that both the Cruz and Kasich campaigns have discussed this deal actually gives Donald Trump credibility when he says the fix is in. It's a big mistake.
5 states tonight. Nice to see you, Frank.
Pleasure.